Mike Richards on your Monday, along with David Bastl, and as you know, the show's sponsor, the studio sponsor, when everything is, well, the studio when everything's normal. When is that going to be? We don't know. Nobody knows. I will say this, though, to the freak conspiracy wackos. Do you see how the numbers are going down? See, there's something to that. I was looking at the one COVID number. So on January the 2nd, we had a number of, and this is in Canada now, Canada, new cases, 10,200. 10,000. That was January the 2nd. As of yesterday, it was 3,900. Do you see the whole distance, the separation, the mask wearing? If for instance, if we'd done what Australia, New Zealand, some of these countries had done, they're doing the Australian Open tennis. There'll be 30,000 people there. Why? Because people weren't crying about their civil liberties or this infringement. They were just trying to save everybody's life. See, that was the goal. The goal is to have people not die. So I don't know what the conspiracy would be in allowing or the government wanting to shut the whole world down, including all the money-making mechanisms that make the government money. You see what I'm saying? You don't make sense. That's just me. Am I wrong on this, Jennifer? Jennifer Duggan joins us here from Bell Lifestyle Products. Isn't the mask wearing, the separation, the distance, the hand washing, does that not make sense to you?
So I think that we need to do everything that we can to keep ourselves healthy, and that's a part of it. Yeah.
It is all a part of it. It's why, when we do these get-togethers and sponsored by Bell, it's about products and not pharmaceuticals. Like sometimes I have to explain, because I wasn't a natural health products person. I really wouldn't have known necessarily what that was. But since you guys have come on and sort of explained it in layman's terms to me, it's like these natural products that help the body do what the body needs to get done. It's a fuel for the engine to do it naturally, as opposed to a pharmaceutical and a magic pill being dropped in and having maybe, but the side effects and a lot of the stuff with big pharma can be not only be way more expensive, but it can be actually detrimental. So this is the natural way of doing it in the body repairing itself. If that is that close?
Yeah, well, nature has provided us with what we need to function. That's the basics of it. And there's so much power in nature, and unfortunately in the society we're in, we're seeing the opposite of that with processed foods and toxins in the air and all these things. And really it just comes back to the basics that Mother Nature has provided us with, really the tools that we need, or our body needs, to perform its functions. And when it's performing its functions well, it's in good health.
No, I'm just curious. We got a chance. So Tim Allen comes into our picture. He explains, and he's been in that business for a long time, and I've known Tim for a long time. So this is how my experience, along with, Dave might have a slightly different one than me, but that's really my first one in this. That's how I come to know natural health products, and specifically Bell Lifestyle Products. But what about for you? How do you come to get into this?
Well, I'll tell you, I've always had an interest in being healthy, but I've had a couple medical scares in my life, and they really sort of reset how you feel about your life and how you approach your life. And then you start to realize that, I was thinking about it today as what we're going to be talking about today. We, as a society, we always reward ourselves with food, and we call it comfort food. And we tend to look at these comfort foods as like rewards, right, to ourselves. And I can think of perhaps a place where I was 15 years ago, where you'd put a bag of potato chips in front of me, or maybe wings, and how excited that would make me, to where I am today on my health journey. And you put those things in front of me and they look bad to me, they look poisonous to me. Put a salad and I'm excited. And it's just a matter of changing our thought processes and our understanding that if we really are rewarding ourselves, we're rewarding ourselves with good, natural, healthful foods, and we have a lot of control over our health. Not entirety, but we do have a lot of control over our own health.
Jennifer, let's talk about Heart Month. We know that the stats are really damning at times about the disease itself. 1 in 12 Canadians over the age of 20 will be diagnosed with some sort of heart disease. A lot of it has to do with, just like you mentioned, the environments that we're in, smokers, drinkers, what you eat, what you don't eat, and so forth. But I know that Bell Lifestyles, of course, is always aiding you in different ways and helping you out. What are some of the most popular, supplements that people have come to you and asked you about that could help certain situations? Because there's a lot of different situations.
Yeah, for sure. And I just wanted to very quickly say that I'm really glad to be here talking about this topic. My father recently had a heart attack, so this is hitting very close to home for me. And not to dilute what's happening with COVID, about 16% of deaths worldwide, according to WHO, the World Health Organization, is a cause of cardiovascular disease. It's still the number one killer. So what my message is I'm glad to be talking about this and bringing awareness to this, because there are things that we can be doing to lower our risks of this being an issue. So a couple things before we even get into our supplement, which I will talk about. I just wanted to bring to light, because this is a human disease, but I just wanted to bring to light that, especially for your listeners, being I think mostly male, about 2 times as many men as women die from heart attacks. And they're usually diagnosed about 10 years younger than your average woman. So men between 55 and 65 are getting diagnosed. For women, it's 65 and to 75. So this is something that men need to be concerned about. We all need to be concerned about. And the thing is, we tend to think, oh, we're 20 and I can do whatever I want. I can eat all the chips and and not exercise. What you're doing when you're 20 catches up with you when you're 55. So, encourage everyone to think about their health now and do what you can to be proactive. So of course, there's a bunch of different things. Yes, smoking, you mentioned that it puts us at a much higher risk. And of course, smoking is very, very challenging. It's very addictive and hard to get over, but there's help out there. Go to your doctor, go to a naturopath. There's programs to help you quit. We have a natural product that helps with quitting smoking. It's number 35, Stop Smoking Health. And it can help with both the withdrawal symptoms and the detoxification through the process. So I just wanted to mention that, because that is very important. One thing that we can do to protect ourselves. Being physically active is very, very important. And, COVID is not helping us doing that. I mean, I think typically the kind of sports and things that men like to do, we're not able to do right now. You're not playing hockey, you're not playing basketball or softball or whatever your sport is. And so I think men maybe are struggling a little bit with what else they can do. But there are things you can do. Get out and have a walk, or I don't know, go tobogganing with the kids. You just got to be creative and find other ways to get out there and get active. And being physically active does reduce our risk for these types of diseases.
Well, some of them too are just sort of common sense. And we've heard, how many times do you have to tell generations of men? And this is for the sake of this argument, we'll talk about men, because they're also the biggest offenders, because I know, because I am one. So I tend to know what we do. And so we always think that we're sort of, and this is sort of the quote, Jerry Seinfeld ism, but men see themselves as a lower level superhero. Like, we think we can do these things and recuperate. We think we can put, for instance, when in moving, a man will put a heavy mattress on top of a car, and then just simply put his hand on top of it.
There?
Yes, thinking that this is what you can do on the highway and hold it down. I know, I had a friend who did this. And when the mattress was finally taken off the 401 with tire tracks all over it, you're not Superman. but the guys kind of think that that we can do all this stuff. And so if you haven't done any exercise since you were in high school, if you're not really worried about weight control and you pound back booze and you have the odd dart here and there, and you're like, you know what, I'll be okay. I'm going to maybe ride the bike in the summer. Yeah. Number one, you never do. They don't do it. And that's not enough. And so there's this huge shock when they go get a physical and the doctor said, you know what, you've fallen into a very bad category. Yeah, because you've let this happen. Now, it's never too late. People always say, well, it's too late to do this. Don't you think it's never too late?
It's never, ever too late. And this is what I always say to people, change is hard. And if you're trying to do drastic change from 0 to 100, you're not going to maintain it. So change is little changes each and every day. Little things like, instead of having eggs and bacon every day for breakfast, switch it out to oatmeal once a week. Instead of having 18% cream in your coffee, bring it down to 10 or 5. Little changes, a walk once a week, and then ramp it up to a bike ride and a walk. Little slow changes day by day, tackle one thing at a time, and then turn around and look 6 months later and you're doing 6 things that you didn't do before, because you've done each little tiny one, and they all build up to improving our health.
One thing that we hear constantly on television, on a lot of health shows, is cholesterol levels. Good cholesterol, bad cholesterol. You have to control it. You can't have it too high. You can't have it too low. It's almost like a buzzword in a sense. I know that Bell Lifestyles has an awesome product number 26, cholesterol control. What exactly does that do, and what type of individual should be at least doing their research in this product and possibly bringing it into their diet as well?
As far as cholesterol is a big indicator for risk of heart disease. So there's 2 types of cholesterol in the body. HDL, that's not the one we're concerned with. That's our good cholesterol, and we're not concerned with that cholesterol. The cholesterol we're concerned about is LDL, low density lipoproteins. And that's the one that if it's in high levels in the body, it's very likely that you have plaque buildup in the arteries. It's a good indicator. So that's the level, the cholesterol that we're concerned with and we're monitoring all the time. And pretty much with fast food, processed food, the things that are getting thrown at us, we're all at risk for this. And we should be proactive. So we shouldn't be waiting till our doctor says, hey, this is a problem. We should be proactive in the things that we can do to prevent that level, the LDL, from being high. One of the things we can do is, of course, lifestyle changes. We talked a little bit about diet and stop smoking and those kind of things, and being conscious about our food choices. To tip the scales, Bell Lifestyle does have a product. It's number 14, cholesterol control. I'm actually gonna, this is it here. So this actually has a unique proprietary formulation. It's called cholesterol, and it contains 2 natural compounds. They're sourced from natural ingredients, polymethioxylated flavones and tocotrienol. So tocotrienol is actually a form of vitamin E. It's sourced from African palm oil, and the flavones are actually sourced from orange peel. So naturally ingredients. But both of these compounds have actually shown in studies to have a positive influence on lowering our LDL, our bad cholesterol levels. So introducing a supplement like this into your regime is just protective of those LDL levels from rising. And what we're trying to do is not wait until your doctor says, hey, you have high blood pressure, hey, you have high cholesterol, now we got to put you on a pharmaceutical solution. Let's do it before our doctor has to tell us that.
Yeah.
Well, of all those, again, when we start talking about some of these products, it's not you take these alone. Like you're talking about this works in with your regimen or the things that Jennifer just talked about, watching what you eat a little bit, again, we're not talking about being all of a sudden a health freak and you were in terrible shape and now you're going to the Olympics. We don't mean that. It's just that you try, just try a little bit. And then in adding these products, it just helps to support all those other things that you're doing. Correct? I mean, some people think, okay, I'm just going to take this. I mean, this is where, the sort of big pharma companies, it's a little misleading. It's like, take this pill and now you're going to sleep. Take this pill, now you're going to lose weight. That's really not what we're talking at all about here.
No, and that seems easy, right? Oh, my doctor will just give me, high blood pressure medication. I'll be fine. They're actually quite invasive on the body, and they do have side effects. You don't really want to be on those pharmaceuticals. And sure, that seems easy. Like you think, oh, I don't have to worry about it, but we should be worrying about it because it's going to cause other issues. In some cases, you have other issues that come along with getting on a pharmaceutical. So what you're trying to do is make smart lifestyle choices and support that with smart supplemental regimes that will prevent you from ever having to get there.
Yeah, I still remember Dave. I was in Calgary, and I don't know if Jennifer, Cowboys was kind of a big hangout. And so I'm at Cowboys, and there's like 4 or 5 sort of young girls that I'm with. And so, as you can imagine, there's some drinking going on. And so I see them, and they're passing around what it looks like kind of pills, and it's making me feel uncomfortable because here I am in this bar, a lot of testosterone, right, a lot of stuff going on, and they're taking all these pills. I'm like, what the hell are these pills? What is this? Some sort of rave? What is it? Some sort of thing that I don't understand generationally? And I said, what are you girls? What are those? She goes, oh yeah, they're fat burners. So you're coming to a bar while you're inhaling these heavily sugared drinks one after the other, and you're having handfuls of fat burners? Yeah, just to balance. Yeah, that's not how it works. Just so
no, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
No.
It would be nice and it would be easy, but hey, nothing is easy. Anything we do that is worth doing, it takes work. And so like, this is love month. This is February. This is love yourself. Spend the time and think when you go to that restaurant and you can choose between a healthy meal and those chicken rings, that you're doing yourself a favor by choosing the healthy meal. You're loving yourself by doing it.
So you know what I said? Yeah, give me a handful of those things.
Oh yeah. Didn't work.
Yeah. Well, you never know. I don't know. I don't know what it did. Probably nothing. I don't know. Rye and fat burners. What does that do? Jennifer, always lovely to have you on. As you know, Bell has been very important to what we do. And I think if people understand what we're talking about, they should be implementing a lot of the things that we talk about this into their regimen, into their diet, because it is so helpful and they stand behind their products. And if it doesn't work, you get your money back. That is very, very rare in this world for people to actually stand behind their product. And that's what Bell does. So they do it with their product and they do it with their people. So we're thrilled that you can join us. And thank you so much. And I know we'll be talking again very, very soon.
Always great to see you guys. Thank you very much.